This is my infographic on attribution theory, which is the conscious and unconscious ways in which we explain the behaviors of ourselves and of the people we encounter. There are two ways of categorizing these attributions, internal and external, otherwise known as situational and dispositional. Disposition refers to the internal factors which may dictate behavior, such as personality. Situational refers to the external factors which may dictate behavior, such as where the event is taking place and under what context. American social psychologist Herold Kelley developed through the late 1960s and early 1970s the covariation model, which is a system of sort of assessing the ways we assign these attributions. Consistence is the rate of which someone exhibits these behaviors. For example, you may have a friend who is consistently late for events, so you would attribute their lateness to their personality, their disposition. Conversely, distinction is the way we might assess more random, out of character behaviors, like your usually very placid father crying while watching where the red fern grows. This would be a more situational way of describing his behavior. Finally, consensus is where we see many people displaying the same behavior. For example, when one person wears tie-dye while at Disneyland, you might just imagine they like tie-dye, which would be dispositional. However, when you see a large group of people wearing tie-dye at Disney, you could conclude that they are all together. Perhaps it's a family reunion, which explains the tie-dye as much more situational. There are two major trenches that we can fall into with assigning attributions in these ways. People tend to explain their own good behavior as based on their good disposition, and their bad behavior as the situation. This is called self-serving bias. It also works against others, where we tend to imagine the poor behaviors of others as an attribution of their personality, and their good behavior as just situational. The other thing to be mindful of is over-attribution, which is essentially stereotyping. It's the act of characterizing someone and their behavior based on one or two of their small, more obvious characteristics. This manifests as maybe assuming that your Korean American coworker is a math whiz, or the young man with tattoos behind you in the grocery store is a criminal. Being mindful of the ways in which you judge other people's behavior or justify your own behavior is an important aspect of nonverbal communication. While you might justify being snappy to your server because you've already had to wait so long for your food, your partner's parents dining with you might conclude that you're an impatient and rude person. Attribution theory is a great reminder of the importance of compassion and mindfulness as we make our way through the world interacting with each other. Thank you so much, friends. I hope you all have a lovely, safe, and healthy summer.